look, you got something I want, I got something you want. Let's trade. A fair
Mm.
exchange ain't no robbery. What she's talking about is flat foot, cold tricking, cold foot tricking, cold market tricking. Just going to, and I really think she's aimed this at the passport bros. That's
Right.
really who she's talking to.
Mm.
She's not talking about these situations where these women are scamming these dudes out of money or scamming them out of their time. Now, she does talk about this later on, or she attempts or tries to talk about this later on, but she doesn't go into the weeds with it like we do. So I
Mm.
think this scenario that she's really talking about, it really doesn't apply to us because we have a whole different basis from which we do what we do. There's a whole different reason from why we approach this situation the way we approach this situation. It's entirely different. It's not we're not rolling up on broads on Broadway or down there at the corner of Third and Broadway saying, hey, won't you be my wife? Hell no, we're not doing that. No.
Shoot. Yeah, man. Hmm. Yeah, you're right. It's anti-exploitation is all it is. You don't give them no wiggle room to try and play no games with you, man. It is what it is. Like you said, you can get with this or you can get with that. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Yeah, ain't no way that you're gonna be able to finesse me. It's not gonna
See,
happen.
because when you present them with the agreement, it stops the plausible deniability.
Uh-huh.
You see, well, that's not what I meant. Well, yeah, I know what you meant. You thought you were
Hmm.
gonna come over here and get something for nothing again because that's how you came at me.
Hmm.
So that is to say, when you have to trick, you hate being obligated to do anything. So in your mind, you telling yourself you being victimized. I didn't come looking for you. You,
Hmm.
you came looking for me because you needed something.
Right.
You called me up. I didn't call you. I didn't text you. I wasn't even bothering you. You came looking me up because what happens is that little dirty nigga, that little dingy nigga that you were with left you in a bind. And you
Hmm.
calling me to pull you out of that bind. And I'm saying I'm gonna pull you out, but for the low, low price.
Hmm.
You
Man,
know.
boy.
And when you come at them like that, it's almost as if what it is they feel entitled. They'll talk about how men feel entitled to a woman's snatch, but they
Hmm.
never reverse it around and talk about how they feel entitled to a man's wallet. And
Yeah.
it's usually the man that is their second or third choice. Because he's not their first choice, they feel that he's entitled to give them something for nothing.
Mm.
You see, that part of the game is never discussed. Even the so-called progressive women or the women that are orbiting the so-called manosphere, they don't even discuss that aspect of the game. It's just always putting the trick in this, the most disrespected, the most pitiful, the most egregious like possible to try to shame him into giving up his money for nothing. And I'm
Mm.
saying, no, skip that. Skip that. This should be a fair exchange. This should be a fair exchange. And I believe in a fair exchange. That's how this should work. But when you start saying fair exchange, now all of a sudden nobody wants to be fair anymore.
Hmm.
Now all of a sudden we want to start talking about emotions and look what you're doing. And I thought you were different. And I'm like, no, I'm on that same shit.
Hmm.
Nope, I'm on that same ish. Nope,
Right.
I'm no different. Nope, don't look at me as different. I'm on that same ish.
Mm. I remember, man, working at the prison, right? Yeah, I worked there like 10 years and I really wasn't looking for no action. But, when you be there, you be seeing everybody hooking up, man. You be like, shoot, I want to hook up too. You know what I mean? I want
Right?
to hook, I'm in my 30s and I'm still, even though I'm married, but yeah, I was a man. I was a dog, man. I had to have it. So I went ahead and I got with one chick, smashed her on some square stuff, and she was, even though she was square, she was a 304, no doubt. You know what I mean? And we had our fun for about a year, had a year long fling, and then there was these two other females, man. I tried to get with, and oh my god, it's just very embarrassing, man. The first female, I caught myself trying to put my smooth rap game down and whatnot, and she knew that I was kind of smart, man, and had a little bit of intelligence when it came to computers. And she was like, you know what, Mike, my computer's messed up and it keep going in and out, and I need someone to come over and help me with my computer. I was like, what? I was, man, put my cape on. I'm thinking, man, this would be a good old way to slide on in there, fix her computer. You know what I mean? Went on over there. And man, this is the day of the floppy drives and
Oh yeah, the big black discs, those big black discs.
Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? And the whole screen was green and it was DOS and man, it was arcade, man, but I fixed it and I had her humming, you know what I mean? And I got done with it and we went back to work and it was like, the chick didn't know who I was, man. It was weird. I was like, hey, what's going on? You want to go somewhere? You want to do something? No, I don't. No. I was like, damn. Jesus Christ. Man, I was like, oh, okay. I done got played.
Yep.
I done got played like I'm like, okay. Then there was another female, man, and this one was badder, man. She was real finer than the other one. I mean, I really felt bad about the computer one because that chick, she really wasn't fly at all, man. But she had these big breasts, man. I was just like, man, I want to get on them. But she really wasn't all that. So I'm like, okay, chalk that up as an L. This other one, she was that bronze skin, green eyes, long. Oh, she was bad. And I did the cardinal sin. You know how me and you hate to hear this when a broad talk about I'm about to move and I need someone to help me move.
Oh
this.
Man,
I threw all sorts of heavy ass nonsense on my back to move stuff to try and get with this broad, boy. Oh man! And then I only had that punctuated, and I could not believe this, man. When I seen this, after she had recruited like 3 other dudes from work to move that stuff, right? We moved all her stuff in, and you know what? Her dude, she had a dude that actually pulled up at the end of us moving
after all
that
the
stuff.
Furniture's in the truck.
Yeah, after all the furniture we moved, he didn't break a sweat. He ain't moved nothing. He just pulled up. She got in the car. She was like, okay, guys, thanks. I'll see you at work tomorrow. And then pulled off. I was like, oh, man. I couldn't believe how stupid I was, man. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, well, okay. You just live and you learn, man. You live and you learn, dog. So, I mean, I had a crash course in how females manipulate and gaslight and use you as utilities and all that, man. It's a learning process, man. And that's how you fall into the tricking. You're like, oh, no. Because if I was tricking in them days, none of that never would have happened. There would have been none of that. Shoot, if I'm going to move something, you going to move something. That's right. Shoot, if I'm going to fix this computer, you going to do some fixing too. That's right.
If I have to have a sore back, I'm going to have empty balls.
That's right, Jack. But anyway, want to proceed?
Proceed.
All right, man. Ooh, wee. These women, boy.
Nope. Stop it right there. You're doing too much. If she only values your money, that means you cannot trust her. And in today's world, any woman that you're giving your time to needs, this is not a want thing. This is a need thing. Any woman you giving your time to needs to be someone that you can trust. It needs to be someone you can trust with your life. Period. Especially in 2026. You need to be able to trust her with your life. That means that you need to be comfortable knowing she's protecting you from diseases that can harm you or even kill you. You need to know this for sure. You need to be able to go out in public with her and not worry about another man lurking around looking for her somewhere. You need to know this. for certain, because that happens too, even in these other countries. You need to know that she not on the phone with another man dropping your location so you can get set up and robbed. Because passport bros, this happened in the DR too. This happened in Colombia too. This happened in Brazil. This happens everywhere. Passport bros. So keep this in mind. This happens all over the world. This is not just happening in one place. This is not just American women. This all women everywhere
Here's the thing.
are capable of.
Here's the thing that she's talking about. And she's absolutely right. But here's the part she's leaving out.
Okay.
Is that the 304s in those places that she's talking about. Let's take Colombia, for instance. And everybody's always talking about Colombia. What they don't know is that tricking or the fair exchange program is an integral part of the nation's economy. And it's an integral part of the nation's economy because either the currency isn't worth a damn, or what's happening is their economy isn't worth a damn. They're dependent upon the American dollar, and the exchange rate that they have for their goods and services is how can I say this? It is slighted, or it is shifted so far in the favor of American currency to the point where it costs them to import and export goods inside and outside of their country. It is slanted so bad in the favor of the West to these people are actually going under doing international trade with Western countries. So what happens is they make their money off the street. Well, if there's no economy, no stable economy in these places, there's no stable government in these places. And the people that are really running these countries is organized crime, right-wing and left-wing military juntas and guerrilla movements, like in Colombia, the FARC and whatnot. And so the FARC has organized crime units. And so what they do as a part of their way that they make money, as a way that they raise money as a guerrilla army inside of Colombia, other than drugs, is prostitution.
Okay.
So they have these networks of these 304s that go out and try to pull these tourists. And so what they do is to keep from sleeping with them. This was a big little scandal, I think, a couple years ago. These women had this drug that they would use. They would put over their bodies. And what it would induce fatigue and make these dudes make the tricks fall asleep. And so they would rob the tricks while they were sleeping. They would put it in their drink. They would sprinkle this stuff on their bodies, just something to induce, this period, this state of extreme fatigue so that they can rob them after they dozed off. But the thing is that, again, those 304s are working for someone. They are so far down the chain, and the money that they're getting, they're kicking it up to their mid-level pimps who then turn around and kick it up the chain. So what she's talking about is a very real thing in Colombia, but that's not the situation that we're going through here on the west side of Dayton. That's not what that is.
Right.
The only pimp that these women have are Uncle Sam. The only pimp that they have is the government, you see, or some, temporary nigga that's up under them for a minute, living off of them for a second before he's gone to prison. What did Side Trickster used to say? Dude, it would be so cool if he went back to jail. That's
yeah, man.
So the thing is that the quality or the substantive conditions as to how people trick every day on the block is different than what these dudes are doing in these third world countries. It's not the same. Because again, every day, this tricking is going down every day. Every day there's some woman somewhere that is facing the first of the month. She done went and turned up when she wasn't supposed to, or spent her money on some old grimy ass dude that she shouldn't have spent her money on. And the first of the month is a long way off and she's short. She in a bind and she's trying to close the distance. And she needs somebody to help her close that distance. You see, so it's an entirely different situation in many instances here than it is there. And so there's a different kind of trick in this situation than it is as it relates to the passport bros. You could say, well, the similarities, yes, she still need money. No, the difference is that those women down there are on the blade and they're under the control and direction of a multi-pyramid scheme that extends all the way up the ladder of organized crime. Whereas these girls just doing some 911 304 because they're in a bad spot.
Right.
They're not out there on the track every day. This is just an emergency situation. They're doing some 911 304 just to get out of that particular situation. They facing a shutoff notice. Their power is about to get cut off. Their car is about to be taken. Their water or their gas is about to be cut off. Something to that extent. Their cable is about to be cut off. Their internet, they can't operate their Roku because their internet is about to be snipped or clipped. Or there's not enough food in the refrigerator to carry them to the first of the month. There's not enough chicken wings and SpaghettiOs and Tampico orange drink, you know, in the refrigerator to get them and their kids through to the first of the month. So they're doing what they got to do to close the distance, to make up the difference, to compensate. So that's entirely different than the 304s that's under the control of organized crime in third world countries.
Yeah, facts. I agree. Proceed.
Of doing this. Women set up men every single day who come out there looking to be paymasters and looking to be tricks. Mr. I like to go to the DR and trick. Crazy. Some men like to trick, but they don't realize the danger they're putting themselves in. Here's the truth. A lot of y'all, this is the truth that a lot of y'all don't want to hear.
No. We're always oblivious to danger, miss. Always. On the other end of this line talking to me is Mr. AK-47 himself.
Oh yeah.
This is an individual that rolled with a 9mm to every housing project on the west side of Dayton.
Shoot, man. Speaking of the devil, Hydra just showed up. Yeah, well, keep going, man.
So it's not that, you know, if anything, we're paranoid. Because the first thing I would do, I would say, look, you got to shut that phone off.
Yeah.
You got to shut that phone off. You can't deal with me and be on that cell phone. That's not going to happen. It is a must that they shut that cell phone off. So we were always very cognizant of the possibilities of a setup. Always.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we let them know that we were cognizant of the possibility of a setup. We went out of our way to say, look, if you do this, then we do that.
Yeah.
So that kept away a lot of foolishness. Wasn't nothing sweet here. Wasn't nothing sweet here.
It's funny, Mike, because each new female that would come over my house, right, I wouldn't flash the weapon, like just flash it. Like I would always be sitting there cleaning it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be cleaning my 9 or cleaning the it's actually a SKS, not an AK, but it's pretty much the same thing. But yeah, I'll always be cleaning it and, you know, scrubbing it and shining it. And they were like, dang. I'm like, what is this dude on? You know what I mean? But I would just let them know. I just letting them know, like, there won't be no foolishness over here. Shoot. And if I was cleaning it or shining it or whatever, you know, just in case I had a female that was smart, right? Like maybe she might want to invite a dude over to come bust in while my weapon was apart because I was cleaning it. You know what I mean? But since I had 2 weapons, you know what I mean? I always had my other weapon that was like right up under me that was intact, just in case she tried to have somebody bust on in while I was cleaning my other weapon. You know, man, I was always 2 or 3 steps ahead of these broads, man. I was just like, nah, that's not gonna happen. You ain't gonna get the Mac, baby. You ain't gonna get me. But yeah, but I mean, there is wisdom in what she's saying. There's wisdom in it.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Proceed.
Proceed.
Women have absolutely no respect for men who are just tricks. I'm going to say it again. Women have absolutely no respect for men who are just tricks.
Well, Tony, I don't know. You agree with that?
No, I don't. And here's why I say that. What
Okay.
she means is women have no attachment and they're not attracted to
Mm-hmm.
tricks. Because
Right.
by definition, if they're tricky, it's a man that they don't want. And
Right.
like I said before, they're only tricking because they're in a desperate situation. And so
Mm-hmm.
they feel like they're being compelled to do it. That's why they're always trying to compare that and call that grape. But that's
Mm-hmm.
not rape. You see?
Okay.
So what she's saying is that women don't like or they detest or they have an issue with the men that they trick with. Now, if you want to say that they don't respect them, that depends on the situation because I've never had, in any time I've had a situation where I'm dealing with a female that was disrespectful, I would
Mm-hmm.
always check that or I would say something up front. I would do something to let them know, look, you're running out now.
Mm-hmm.
Crossing the line now. And if you have a problem with respecting me, you can get on out of here.
Right.
You get on. I told you, you know what Pound Cake would do. She would
Uh-huh.
she come over to my house and get the LB, the loose bowels.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you don't have to go to the bathroom no other time. But as soon as you come through
Yeah.
my door, you get the bubble guts when you come through my door.
Ruining the atmosphere.
Exactly. And so I would tell her, I'm like, yo, you gonna get in that shower. And she was like,
Mm-hmm.
what? I'm like, no, you gonna get in that shower or I'm gonna give you $10 for gas and send you back where you came from.
Mm.
You're not gonna get in here and do that to try, to try to kill the mood, these
Mm-hmm.
little, displays of 304 remorse to try to show you or shame you. Because they'll do that sometimes. Like
Yeah.
little things to show, you know, their little passive aggressive shots,
Mm-hmm.
that little passive aggressive disrespect,
Yeah.
that little non-formal or informal, type of silent communication where they do
Mm-hmm.
little stuff to gross you out, where they'll
Yeah.
go in your bathroom and go ahead and sit on your throne and leave the door open so you can smell them and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Like, oh no, 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 no.
Won't be getting no call back from me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
so the thing is that what she means is that women don't like the men that they're tricking.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a deep, reversion or they're repulsed by those men. And she's right about that. They are repulsed by those men because they feel like they're being forced to do something they don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But she leaves out the part that these women are trying to finesse these dudes and end up doing something they don't want to do. That's the
Right.
part that's being left out. You trying to run game, and it was best game win, and you wound up on your knees getting splattered on. Okay,
Mm.
so you feel some kind of way about that because I'm not the dude that you want shooting and splattering on you. Well, whose fault is that? Again, I didn't call you. You
Mm-hmm.
came to me trying to finesse me out of my paper.
Yeah.
And I just made you honor your agreement. I just made you an honorable person. And you're
Mm-hmm.
mad that I'm holding your feet to the fire when you came to run game on me.
Mm.
So yeah, no, they're not gonna like that guy. They're not gonna like that guy. And a lot of it also is that a lot of women feel bad again, and I want to sound repetitive, but they feel bad at having to sell themselves to men they don't like. Now they
Mm-hmm.
don't mind being uh, uh, a slut, or they don't mind being a skeezer, bringing back the word skeezer. They don't mind being a skeezer to the dude they're attracted to. But
Mm-hmm.
it's the dude that they don't like, if they feel that they have to do something and they hate the fact that they need him to survive. Well, that's a metaphor for life.
Yeah.
The dude, and I've said this constantly, to females, and I've said this constantly to dudes. The person you want looks nothing like the person that you need. Those
Okay.
are two different people. And so you hate the fact that you need this dude that you don't want. So you want to try to make the experience as unpleasant for him as possible as a way of dumping on him because you feel bad that you need to use him for his money and he's actually making you go through with the exchange.
Mm, mm, mm. Oh man,
So
do I need?
I found that they get disrespectful if you don't make them put in work.
Uh-huh.
If
Yeah.
you give them gifts over and over again and the more you do that, the more disrespectful they get.
Man, big time. Mm-hmm. Shoot. Yeah, the Scribble game was definitely needed, man.
That Scribble game was undefeated.
Man, each time I scribbled on them, boy, they came back for more. They came back for more. I was like, wait a minute, this, because I was doing it to try and get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I go ahead, not degrade this broad with this magic marker and write all sorts of insults on her face, this might like mentally scar her for life. She may not want to deal with me ever again. Man, shoot, a week later, my phone ringing. Hey, Big Mike. I'm like, who is this? They be like, it's me, Ice. I'm like, what? I thought I scribbled on your face. Get rid of you. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. She's like, yeah, I want to come on through. I'm like, oh, wow, okay.
And be excited about it.
Yeah.
Be excited about it.
Can't wait to be humiliated. Can't wait. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that whole concept of respect, man, I mean, that's why I was always talking about them tattoos to cats, man. I was trying to get cats to understand just because you out there participating in the fair exchange program, that don't mean you can't come out of this being respected. I'm like, man, there's chicks out here with my name tatted on them, man. And I'm Trick Daddy to the fifth power, man. I'm an Omega level Trick. Shoot. And they made that move. I told them, look, I ain't got no love for you. If you want to get anything else out of me, you're going to have to get branded. Without hesitation, they did it. And I'm like, okay, so somebody tell me how the Trick can't get no respect. I'm like, I can't tell. As many times as I had certain females calling me, and because they were scared that the news would get back to me that they was out there selling without my permission. Like they would actually call me up and tell me, is it okay if I do such and such or such and such? I'll be like, how much he paying? And they would be like, he paying such. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Make that move. I used to tell them, I better not hear about you out there doing nothing for free. You know what I mean? I taught you better than that. You need to get your money. You know what I mean? Shoot, they would live.
How that look? If I'm going to pay you, he should pay you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No doubt.
Yeah, we're enforcing a standard of equality here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you gonna charge me, you need to charge him too. That's no more than fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's no more than fair.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like a couple of instances where you actually relieved yourself on a tattoo that she had by another dude.
Yeah. Shoot, man. Yeah. Show my dominance. Shoot.
So this situation and what they're talking about, I think there's a distinction. We need to draw a line in the sand.
Okay.
What they're talking about is simping, a guy that the pay pig character, where they just get the option or they just have the option to just use a dude with no obligation whatsoever. And there are not very few getting away with. There are not very many getting away with that. There are very few women that are actually getting that. And what they're not telling you is the number of times that they were rejected and turned down. Mm-hmm. They always gonna glorify the perks, over the hustle.
Right.
That's what people do. That's rule 101 in the con game, is to always blow up the victories and hide and minimize the losses.
Right.
So, that's what they're talking about. But in each situation, I put down, this is what I will allow, this is what I won't allow. And if you can't do this, you won't be back in my presence anymore. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there are sanctions to be enacted if you violate these rules.
Mm.
That's what I did every single time, and I never had an issue. Did I have to push the reset button sometimes? Yeah, but I
Mm-hmm.
never had a problem with that disrespect escalating. Never.
Right. But like you said, you know, everybody, including her, they getting their wires crossed between the simp and the trick.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
No
mean,
question.
you can be like what I like to do is I like to tell the dudes, right? If you want to see my idea of a trick, of a boss trick, you know, all we gotta do is look at dead presidents. You know who I'm
Cut it.
talking about? Yeah, Boss Man Cuddy. You know what I mean? That's my vision of a trick. You know what I mean? And to this day, people still don't think that he was a trick. Tony, was he a trick?
He was a grade A trick. He was a grade A trick, and that's what kills me because
Right.
the biggest tricks in the game
Uh-huh.
are the gangsters and the drug
Yeah.
dealers.
Exactly,
They
man.
are. That's why I said we've been framed.
Oh
We've been
man.
scapegoated. They try to make out like we are doing so much more than what these dudes are doing, on the block.
Yeah,
The
man.
biggest tricks in the game are the D-boys. The
Yeah.
biggest tricks in the game are the gangsters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pookie
That's
is the biggest trick ever.
yeah. He going to the blood bank selling blood to support his broad.
At $80 a pop. You
Yeah.
ain't get no money for your blood. You
Yeah.
get $80 a pop. They are the so-called alpha dudes on the block. Those
Mm.
are the biggest tricks. They're the main ones. I can't tell you the number of times that I've seen, chicks in the men's club when it was open, right?
Yeah.
And the stage would be surrounded by nothing but D-boys and studs.
Yeah.
Nothing but D-boys and studs. Just
Mm.
making it